Hello, everyone. Wanted to make a quick announcement before we start this episode. After Season 3, Episode 16, the one you're listening to right now, we're going to be taking a short break from the main show to do another Power Pack. This will be Power Pack Volume 2. We're going to be playing through the Skittermander free adventure paths that Paizo puts out every free RPG day. And Book 1 of that adventure will release on January 18th, 2 weeks from the release of this episode. We'll probably go back and forth. We'll finish one episode of the Skittermander adventure and then do some more episodes of the main show just so you don't miss out on either one for too long. And you may hear some familiar voices. Anyway, let's get back to the main show. Season 3, Episode 16, Combustion Junction.
Welcome back to the Emergency Power Podcast. You've made it through another day of sandy paradise. Hey, glad you made it onto the car. Those doors don't stay open long enough. How's your filter doing? Mine's holding, but I have to go find a new one because the vendor near where I work just got bought out like wholesale, and now I've got to.
Is he going to just keep going?
I think he's just going to keep going.
I've got to look around for someone who isn't scamming these clean filters.
This is infinitely preferable to the advertisements.
They don't last a day, and it just costs like a month's pay. It just trails off.
Your voice is so soothing.
Now I was invested in those characters.
Yeah. I want more. Give me more. Just keep it coming.
Oh man, this place is going to hell, you know? There's the guys that are scamming us, dragging us down even faster. It's not like these rich holes aren't already walking on our shoulders enough, am I right? Like, smacks you on the shoulders.
Yeah, rich holes.
Excuse me. Scrif does the sneak between legs technique that he can do.
That would be great if it weren't for all the brainies, am I right?
Yeah, you're telling me, right?
I'm not sure if I should be offended or if we should all be offended.
I mean, I'm assuming that you're a Ysoki in there. You got like a rat head going on your robot thing here.
Yeah, I'm Ysoki.
You got a cool robot head and stuff, by the way.
Thanks, Tucky.
No, I've had these conversations in real life, and they are just as awkward.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I might stop it soon, so I should.
This random guy on the tram.
Yeah. We don't have functioning public transit in North Carolina, so these are conversations strangers have with us at the grocery store instead. That's the difference here.
Yeah, when you're
of which
stuck
there
in
are
line,
5 billion everywhere.
It's almost worse because then you have to wander back into them instead of just being able to be like, all right, I'm never going to see you again.
Yeah, get off my stop, I'm leaving. But yeah, no, it's like when it's the cashier talking to you and you're like, please process my card. Please.
Oh my God.
No.
Yeah.
Just makes us all get off the train.
I actually do have that exact problem right now with a cashier who looks and sounds like an extremely awkward version of Adam. And I've just
You're like, I get enough of this every other Monday.
Yeah, like you found that I actually worked there now. Like you outed me.
No. This is you're the like 5.0 of this guy's beta.
That's incredible because of how awkward I am. That's impressive. Okay. But that's not the first time that I've been told that there's someone who looks like me. Like when I was younger, I was in Taekwondo, and one of the other people that went to class with me came in and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're all right. I saw somebody get hit by a car and they look just like you. And I thought that your head had like been cracked open and taken to the hospital. And I'm like, oh God, no, that wasn't me. But apparently my, other universe Koto-esque Adam has been killed when they came over to warn me about the future.
Did you feel a surge of power?
Yeah,
as they
just like a lot of you, and you're gonna be the last one.
I'm one step closer to the Alpha Adam.
Adam, it's me, Adam. In the year 2019, do not start a podcast. That's dark.
That was weird. What the hell's a podcast?
Promptly forgets.
Oh, okay. So that's enough about my horrible past. Let's talk about your horrible futures.
Nice segue. Nice.
This is
Absolutely. Over time, sand wears down all things, from stones to steel, from seas to souls. In the end, it will claim the very world upon which it resides. Until then, it's got everyone seeing red in the Tomes of Emergency Power, Volume 3, Chapter 16.
Yes. Getting
Nice.
up there. This is the biggest season so far.
Yep.
And it will
It's a chunk.
continue to be.
Yes.
And it will take so much more than sand to tear Soul down. That's all I'm saying.
As the tram screams out of the station into the howling storm, Scrif stares at the windows that moments ago framed a Ysoki, one that was covered in sores and boils with this crazed look in his eye. This shocking image is now burned into your memory. As this afflicted person was left far behind, they whispered one word, Pons. Passengers quietly talk amongst themselves, some of them looking towards the window while shaking their head. Glances are cast in the direction of the second-hand crew.
Pons, why did I just see a Ysoki throw itself to the tram doors, mime your name, and then get run over?
How did he mind my name? Was he?
I can read lips sometimes. It was very obvious
Sometimes.
what they said. I got a really high perception roll. But don't change the subject. Why?
I gotta tell you, I'm thoroughly impressed that you could read that through this class.
Wait, but why would people know who you are?
He keeps changing the subject.
Well, a lot of people know the Contemplatives around here, and I kind of look around. I'm not really sure if I should be hiding or standing above like a podium and beholding my glory. So right
Definitely
now,
not the latter.
Does your family like own this city or something?
not the city. They're like definitely higher ups, though. I mean, you might be able to say that. It's really partitioned and kind of controlled by contemplatives and other kind of, higher up government officials.
So your family owns part of the city.
Possibly. I'd have to ask an Arians.
Pons' old money.
Based on the conditions I've observed within time spent here thus far, I deduce certain disparities between the quality of life enjoyed by various groups on Akaton. Perhaps you could elaborate more on the socio-economic and political relationship between the Contemplatives and the other sentients living on the surface of this world.
So as you follow Pons around in a circle, like chasing him for this answer, on the ceiling runs this neoned map of the city and the stations of the Red Railway. And while you don't know the area, at least most of you don't, it's clear that the furthest stops are in downtown, and you've got like 7 stops or so before you get there.
Yeah, Pons is going to kind of look up and be like, okay, I guess we have some time then. You wanted to know
He was asking about the socioeconomic status of the city and that kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of just feeling out what's the relationship between the Contemplatives and the others in terms of...
I understand that as a player.
Oh, okay.
Pons looks at him. Wait, what?
Explain to me the relationship between the Contemplative collective here.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Before we get
Yeah,
too
so-
deep into that, could we perhaps set up a perimeter? And Sol is just going to glance around and be like, I don't know if you've heard the saying, society's only 3 missed meals away from riots, and these people are hungry.
Based on my observations of their thermometabolic rates, I would concur. 5e's going to roll a perception and a sense motive in the general area to make sure that no one is about to lynch our brainy friend. 18 perception, 24 sense motive.
Okay, so as far as in the car that you guys are in now, everyone is still giving you a lot of room because you are the most heavily armored people in the room. So it doesn't look like anyone's giving you death stares. You are getting a lot of weird looks, especially Pons. Like, what is that doing down here kind of looks.
Don't they take the limo?
I hear they have a hover tram.
Sorry, the rules is in the shop this week.
So quaint. Yes.
Don't they just use dimensional teleportation?
I hope that's how you're going to voice all the contemplatives here out there, Adam.
That's a little too close to the Aslanti.
Yeah.
What did you do? You're a plumber. What on earth is that?
Sol is going to activate their armor so it just goes down over their arms. So like most of the glittery flashy is hidden, and is going to try and put Pons kind of in the front corner of the car. So there's walls on two sides and then kind of station as kind of watchdog looking, facing the train itself, but keeping one ear on this conversation. And and kind of try to put everyone else between, and then is going to pull out a cloth and tie it over their hair headband and those very large pointed gold ear caps.
Not trying to get robbed around here.
Trying to be, for once in their life, trying to draw less attention, but very much keeping an eye on the car.
Slightly jelly. I cannot disguise that I am a murder robot.
Power is actually still disguised as Ysoki, so they seem, I guess they fit in okay.
Yep, they fit in okay.
Cool. Then just stand with the others. They watch like anything interesting on the train.
So the city's not really run by elected officials necessarily. It's got a very much who has the power kind of, controls everything. So the main city is pretty wealthy, but I've usually haven't stayed down below or really ventured much far from the inner city. I've heard kind of the outskirts and the sand belt, which is what we call down on this layer, is filled with slums, some violence. It's not particularly going well. There was some mutations that has occurred from radioactive material. I think we looked into this with a sand ray, but it usually any sort of violence, riots, or things from the lower city had been suppressed by private security. However, this is a little bit more out of control than last time I was here.
Who does the private security agency answer to?
They're private contracts, so usually just the government officials, some contemplatives, and other figures in power, but really just the wealthy. There are some working under them that would be, I suppose, more well off, but the general population lives somewhat as we see here.
But you're saying that some of what happened out there with the mutations with the sand rays has affected some of the population as well?
Yeah, but it's again, it seems disproportionate to even last time I was here. It was just beginning to kind of cause problems, and this seems much more rampant, just judging by, and I kind of look around and gesture to a very lightly gesture to the people around.
Right. Seems like a pretty dire scene for the people who live here.
Yes, Pons, do you remember that question you asked me about my association with a potentially evil organization sent to kill world leaders?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say that if I were sent here to do that, it would not be an evil organization in this particular instance, by my judgment.
Yeah, well, I gotta say, I was mostly in a research lab and just, working with different chemicals, but well taken care of. Everyone else here really doesn't seem to be in that great of shape, so...
No, they don't.
I suppose do what you see best.
I don't have any particular plans. Just want to make sure you knew we were all on the same page. Sometimes affection can blind one towards the obvious.
Yeah, of course. I think the main priority here should be getting Scrif's family to some sort of care unit. It might be tricky if we just go in guns blazing. And he just kind of looks at you.
Yeah, Koto will try to say this a little sneakily and just be like, I'm sorry, I thought we were here to help with Scrif's family and maybe check in with like Pons' situation, but are we here to assassinate world leaders?
What?
Viva la revolution. No, just kidding.
Little did you know, Space Hitler was near.
No, our priority is definitely taking care of Scrif's family, but I would like to find out what has been causing the deterioration around this area as well.
Well, if we can help, obviously we will.
I'm definitely willing to help as well, but how can we stop what has already happened here from just happening again?
Short answer,
Yeah.
we probably can't.
It is a result of systemic inequality. Could take decades.
Tale as old as time.
I mean, there is one way to fix it, but
Yeah, I'm fearing where the radiation has started to permeate. If it's gotten more into the inner city, that's really dangerous. Oh, I must also warn you, Nerian's, or my original at least, he's not been feeling so well. He's kind of deteriorating, not in a way of disfiguration or like mutations, but something more akin to like memory loss. So, well, I'm sure he'll recognize me, but yeah, just be aware if he doesn't seem all there when we can find him. You know, that's one of my priorities.
Is that why he made you? Because he was getting old and had no children?
I know Nerians had been researching some ways to extend or preserve his life as long as possible. Up to my knowledge, I was just some result of his research, and the most successful one to that. But
so there are others of you.
yeah, I'm unsure. I would imagine there was previous attempts prior to myself, but I've never seen any of them.
You know, as I said, where I've come from, Narians is kind of hailed as a hero for cloning, for limb replacement, organ replacement, but it never occurred to me that he might be researching this to try to prolong his own existence.
Well, I'm not sure in what universe, and, well, I don't know what motivated the Nerians in your universe, but I know that that's a large portion of his motivation in this current world.
Well, we'll see them soon enough. We can maybe ask them in person. In an unrelated note, I'd like to run system updates since we're in the city on all of your computers, if you don't mind. I noticed there was some spyware trying to get installed when we walked into the tram station. I'd like to make sure that that is kept to a minimum.
Gladly, I do not want any of my subroutines hijacked by this garbage.
And Scrif will request all of your data pads to check them for spyware, adware, and run system updates.
I threw my personal comm in the first battle against those swarms. I don't have a comm right now. Just a heads up. You can pick one up easily enough in the city, though, right? They're like 7 credits, right?
What again?
They're cheap.
Yeah.
They're cheap.
Scrif can probably
Scrif
make you
can
one.
probably make one.
Yeah. There we go.
Jeez.
Yeah, give me, like, if we're going to be on this tram for a little while, I could probably just make one while we're on the tram.
He's
I
quite
think I've got
crafty.
some UPBs lying around.
I made an
great.
entire drop pod and none of you noticed.
Not even the GM.
Regularly mixes cocktails from UPB.
Yeah, I mean, if
I love that trick.
if you have the time and the supplies, absolutely, I would love one. Thanks.
All right, we'll do.
Power just reaches into her chest and pulls out this very clean but very goopy compad and just hands it to you.
Ducky.
So
I'll get to work on these. Koto, do you have a minute?
Yeah, I do. I think. I mean, we're on this train for a little bit, so.
So Scrif sits down and starts working on the data pads as he starts to talk to Koto. He says, so, I was just curious, was your ability to travel between universes something that you had to learn, or were you born with it?
Oh, wow, that's a interesting question. It was something I guess I was born with. I didn't really know I had the ability, though, until it was too late. I had learned about it as I made my first shift to another universe.
Really? How old were you?
I was around 14 years old, and I don't know what it's like for Strix here in this universe, but where I'm originally from, the Strix don't really trust or indulge in magic. So I had to practice and hone my burgeoning magical skills in secret back home, and I guess something I was experimenting with spellcasting just must have activated it and sent me on this crazy adventure.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know much about Strix culture. here, but that must have been hard. How many different universes have you been to? And what level of control do you have over your jumps?
I don't really have any kind of control over shifting myself into other universes. I can pull in little bits and make little things happen. I can, cause an explosion. You've seen me pull in vines from other places, but as far as physically putting myself into another universe, I really don't have much control over that at all. It just kind of happens in extreme emotional situations or in times of danger. And as far as how many I've been to, I stopped counting after 20.
20? Huh. Sounds like you've lived a difficult life, jumping from one place to another, not having anyone that you could call family. But you said you stayed a long time in your last shift, right? Does that mean you're getting more control over it?
I'd like to think so. For a long time when I would shift, I would just try to turn myself off to other people, try not to meet anybody because it was just happening so frequently. But as the years went on and as the shifts kept on increasing, I decided to make the most of these opportunities and try to learn as much as I could from each new universe I was in. Maybe the fact that I was trying to just go with the flow instead of just resisting it allowed me to stay in these places for longer.
Well, whatever fate brought you to us, I'm glad for it. Gods know we need all the help we can get. And you mentioned some fighting techniques. Maybe you could teach some to me later.
Yeah, I'd be happy to show you a few moves. Whenever we have some free time, we're back on the ship. I'd love to have a sparring match with you. By the way, I know this has been a trying time for you and your family, but I had a lovely time getting to know them. They speak very highly of you.
Scrif kind of lowers his head. Yeah, Taki, they mean a lot to me. I really hope I can do right by them here.
I think that they know that you're trying, and that in and of itself is yielding its own reward that they to them.
Yeah. Anyway, here, I'm all done. Here's your new comm unit. It's all updated, everything.
What? So quickly? What? How?
Scrif has video game powers where he pulls out a hammer and goes ding, 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 and it's done.
If you'll excuse me, I need to go hand the rest of these out.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks again for this.
And Scrif is going to go hand everyone back their comm units fully updated. When he gets to Sol, he's going to say a little something. He hands the datapad back to Sol.
Says, Sol, here, your datapad's updated, but I found this weird file. It's been marked deleted and then restored over 100 times. Do you know anything about this?
Yeah. Nothing to worry about.
Is that within earshot of me?
I mean, you guys are all huddled into a corner, so yes.
Sense motive.
What'd you get?
I mean, it's a 20, so it would be opposed by Sol's bluff.
It's only a 13.
Yes.
I was worried it might be a virus. I was gonna delete it.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
So you don't want it deleted?
This is potentially a serious security breach. Perhaps you should explain yourself. There have been quite a few mysteries of late.
I'm sure it's just like a photo from an old relationship or something, and you know, delete those sometimes. You don't want other people's prying eyes to see.
And if it's something of a personal nature, then that is perfectly fine.
Sol just looks at 5e and one eyebrow just keeps going higher and higher.
Pons just kind of grabs his body with his arms, like awkwardly, like protecting himself, sensing the awkwardness of this.
Floats up to the corner to try to get as far away from the situation as possible.
And he's like, no, stay out
I'll
of
just
this.
watch this entire thing, just like with intense interest. Everything is new. Everything is interesting.
It is of a rather personal nature, and I don't appreciate your prying.
Sense motive again.
Ooh.
That's a 30.
Ooh.
Oof.
There is no
Good
lie.
luck.
It is of a personal nature, and they do not want you prying.
Then I suppose I will take your word for that.
Appreciate it.
While they're talking, Scrif's going to open the file.
Oh, my character is outraged. I am so happy.
Whoops.
Yes. So, I'm going to send Jeff this image, and I can describe parts of it, or you can, or if Scrif is going to show it, whatever Scrif's going to do with that.
I'll let you describe it.
So it is a photo of what looks like a very young soul. Not quite how they are now in several ways. There's no glittering skin yet. They have a few piercings. They have some of their tattoos. And looking at this picture, it's very easy to realize that you have never seen this individual smile. They smirk and they put airs on, but you've never actually seen them smile. They have both arms thrown around a pair of Lashunta who look almost identical. One is a man, one is a woman. Their skin is the exact same color. Their hair is the exact same color. They have the exact same cut. Their spots and patterns are the exact same. But he is noticeably smaller and smiling and kind of leaning into the embrace, and she is noticeably larger. And while she has a stern expression, you could see that it's starting to soften as she's looking back at Sol, who has both arms thrown around them. And anything more you'd like to add from that picture, Jeff? That's all you.
Yeah. So the first thing that I notice is that the character that does look like a young soul has a tail and horns resembling that of a tiefling.
Huh.
With like little
gold piercings.
Yeah, little piercings along it.
Interesting.
Scrif's gonna stare down at the picture on the datapad, look up at Sol, trying to make sure that it's like actually them.
And just because it's freaking funny, they're just so focused on 5e that they haven't noticed.
Scrif's gonna copy it to his datapad.
Oh.
And then close it.
What the hell?
Oh,
man.
Cat picks up a copy for you.
And then closes the datapad.
Okay. That's pretty weird.
Well, that happened. Moving on.
Well,
What
when's our
else is
next
gonna
train
happen?
stop?
I have to
No, I was
ask
going to say, what else happens on the
did
train of
Pons,
angst?
lean over to look? I feel
Yeah,
like
I mean,
that's
he's
a Pons
floated
thing.
up and back, so
Yeah.
he's got a bird's eye view of everything that's happening.
Ow.
I think Paul would notice this, but because they've been watching the whole thing with intense, but they spend the time afterwards looking at Sol. Like, as much you can tell when they're looking at anything, they seem to be facing Sol.
It's the big
And
reveals.
you know, as Sol and 5e are still talking, 5e's trying to get Sol to divulge more information. Scrif is going to say, "Yeah, I'd like to hear more about what brought you to us as well."
I thought I had explained all of that. I was stuck on that God's forsaken space station and wanted to get out.
And it is as if absolutely nothing has transpired in your life prior to that moment, at least none that we are privy to. I am not saying that I distrust you, Sol, but you keep many secrets.
Yes. Let's pretend like I haven't been entirely upfront with you about what I do to make credits.
Vin Hakion had made a point to mention to you that they may have seen a pair of Lashunta twins wandering about. What was that about?
Gods if I know, that woman does whatever she feels.
And you don't know who they are.
There aren't that many Solarians in the world. I've crossed paths with many of them.
Normally, I wouldn't ask for more information.
Yes, you've suddenly gotten very nosy.
I think given the circumstances, I'm going to have to insist, and Scrif will reopen up the picture and show it to everyone.
Ooh.
You've been letting on more than you know.
Oh wow!
I think it's time for some answers.
Wait a minute. What's going on? Aren't you guys a crew? How long have you been traveling together? What's going on here?
I'm
Wow,
new.
those horns look really cool.
Now, I'm fine with someone wanting to change their appearance. That does not bother me. But you obviously know more than you're telling us. You brought us to Vin and had these little conversations on the side, but always keeping us at arm's reach through it all.
Pretty sure Sol is just like a space warrior that goes around defeating bad guys. That's what I've gotten so far.
Good guys as well.
Oh, well.
I don't necessarily discriminate.
Then who are you hunting now?
Right now, the dervish. He's pissed me right the off.
Is it fair to say, then, that your chosen profession is that of a mercenary for hire?
And a con artist, yes. Sometimes contracts are dry.
What price would it require to ensure your loyalty?
We had this conversation before. If you'd like to pay me, I'd be very happy to accept your credits. But right now, I'm here to make sure that the dervish stops being a stain on my mistress's face, and then we'll see where fate takes us.
Your mistress?
Yes.
That's not the first time you've used that wording.
No.
Is it a religious phrase of some sort?
Oh, gods, I hope not. And they kind of heave a large sigh, and as their moat circles up, they'll just have it like pulse. Where do you think that came from? It wasn't the monastery, it was the universe herself.
I just want to know which sides are playing me right now, because I've had well enough of being played.
You know, I'd rather feel the same. I'm not here to cause you or your crew any more problems. I feel like I've been quite straightforward and honest with you all. Far more than I'm generally comfortable with. I'd like to see this to an end, and you may trust or distrust me as much as you like after that. That's all I'm here for.
You have been consistently helpful and compassionate, and I am appreciative of that. I do not care if you keep secrets, but if they become liabilities that endanger this crew, you will answer.
Well, I've got no shortage of people after my head, both sides of the law, so...
That is precisely what concerns me.
I've been nothing but upfront with that from the beginning. Why is it a problem now?
Scrif's gonna shrink a little bit.
Yeah, for a second, everyone was kind of crowding around you, and then you say that, and there's just this sudden air about it. Everyone moves back a step.
I think only now we really understand like how dangerous this whole situation is on our side by itself. So adding more to that is even more risky. We weren't aware of who Scrif actually made this deal with and the powers that he actually held. I still consider you as an asset, though.
Rest assured, it is an ongoing concern. I do not bring it up all the time. That would not be productive. As I have said, you have been helpful.
Oh, and of course, if there's more risk than you've even let on, that always would be good to know. And Pons is going to shrink back even more.
Like when you squish a sponge.
Yep. Kind of folds the hemispheres of his brain in half towards each other.
Hide behind your own boombox.
Yeah.
All the passengers just be like, what is he doing?
I've no doubt that there's no share of mobsters and sheriffs after me for things I've earned and things I have not. Or the monastery after me. I have no idea. I got out of there as fast as I could and made no effort to contact or reconcile. I would like to avoid my own ilk, if at all possible.
Yeah, fair enough.
Are they hunting you?
I've never known anyone to voluntarily leave the monasteries. I have no idea if they feel I owe them something. Certainly didn't get my tutelage from them, so I consider myself scot-free. I don't control the minds of others. It'd be so much more convenient if I could.
Just want to make sure that we're all sharing everything that we know. There are too many problems going on right now to get caught up in a problem that only occurs because we didn't divulge something that we should have. Let's all agree to be forthcoming with all information and trust each other.
I've been wandering the stars for so long that should you like me to divulge everything, it will take far longer than this train ride. Promise you I've told you the important things. Good enough?
For now. He hands the datapad back to you.
Snatches it up. This better not behave any differently with that update. It was like 10 updates behind.
Oh no. The UI is completely changed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gods, I hate these things.
It's all swipe controls now.
It went from Rigelian sausage to snubberry pie.
Wow.
Pons will just make a note. Say everything I am thinking so they know my thoughts.
Literally no different from how Pons has ever been.
That's so true.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, no
that's
different.
actually Pons full stop.
Yeah, there's no trust issues with Pons. We're pretty sure that what we see is what we get.
If Pons betrays anyone, it's because he forgot about it.
Yeah, I don't think with Pons it's ignorance.
Yeah.
Sol will deliberately look at Koto and be like, anything more familiar now from whatever world you came from?
Not really, no.
Look at Scrif. There, feel better. Perhaps I'm not the big troublemaker.
I'm sorry. You're right. You've been helpful since we met you, and just because you haven't shared information from your past doesn't mean I shouldn't trust you. I'm sorry.
Darling, you should not trust me. I've been quite forward about this from the beginning. I simply don't like that the mistrust happens because you found out things I've tried to distance myself from.
Well, should I trust you or not? Because you keep saying that I shouldn't trust you, and then I ask you to divulge all your information. And you tell me you've given me enough.
They have answered your query very clearly. You have every right not to be satisfied by the answer, but they did provide one.
Guess I'm just not used to it. You know, the family was always sharing everything they had. We were all one unit, and I guess I can't expect everyone to share everything. And I've learned some I would call them bad habits. Perhaps in the grand scheme of the universe, they're smart choices to not divulge certain things.
We have become a bit too accustomed to dealing with constant crises in varying orbital distances. I think our concern is that these crises may be linked, and that information you have not divulged might help us to find those links. But, as I say, you have been helpful to date. I must only assume that you will inform us if you do have more information to divulge.
So we'll look at Scrif for just a long moment. Not all of us are so lucky to not only have one family, and their eyes will deliberately flick around the group here, but two. It's hard to trust, and they'll deliberately look to Myrani. If I have something that I believe will be of importance, relevant, I will share. We have a common goal. As of yet, I've told you everything that's important.
Right. I'm sorry for my lapse in character.
Rather used to it.
Natural 20 for a 33 perception, just looking around, seeing how close we are to our stop. And 5e says to anyone present, we should devote our mental circuitry to ensuring our security. This is a distraction.
Pons kind of just stares out the window and then turns around. What did the Ysoki look like?
Covered in boils.
Ew.
Looked malnourished.
Oh no.
Would it be safe to say that they looked angry at him?
Like fur color.
Yeah,
or
it was less angry, more with this crazed intensity, like a panic more, yeah.
They looked panicked.
I'm sure I've ran into Ysoki's, Adam. I probably...
Wow. I ran into them with my car when I was up on Rich Mountain.
God.
At least a dozen or so.
They work in the supermarket.
I've run
Prior
at
to
least a
Scrif.
dozen.
I have been outdoors on the planet of Akiton before.
One time I spoke to
Maybe I've seen a Ysoki or two.
I saw a
Who's to
picture
say?
of one Ysokai.
Should be more specific. That I actually would know in person. Would there be any Ysokis other than Scrif's family?
Pons, I saw them for just a fraction of a second. I can't really describe them in any great detail that would help you to recognize them, I think.
Especially as it sounds like they're all deformed.
They seemed panicked and they mouthed Pons' name.
They knew Pons' name.
Do you think they were trying to stop us from getting on the train?
They were trying to do something. It got them killed. They fell onto the tracks.
What? They died? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Judging by the situation, it seems like they would have worked very hard to convince us, not necessarily to force us.
That's why I wanted to know what you might have done. Why they would know you.
Maybe I'm famous now. That would be exciting to find out.
If you're famous, it's not in a good way here.
You do not want to be... By the way, don't shout Vive la Resistance again. That is how riots start. Right?
You're not just famous, you're infamous.
You also share a face with Narian, so maybe they could have recognized you that way.
That's true.
Sol would turn to Pons and say, how far is it from the second to last stop to the one you plan to get us off at?
Not too far. Take us a couple minutes.
I don't know. It's a guess, but I've kept a few elites alive in the midst of revolution. Might not be bad to get off a little early and scout. Don't know.
Agreed. I will disembark one stop ahead of the intended destination.
Yeah, is there any friendly, I'd call them households, Adam, just for the lack of a better word, that perhaps we could visit, or safer places in the city?
The only places you know are above the sand line, so you guys are going to need to find your way up there before that is the case.
But like, is the last stop downtown and the one before that below the sand lines, or is it like downtown and then like downtown east?
This tram is basically like a usual railway you'd see that is horizontal and just goes in a loop. Okay? Then you get into the city, and the city then goes that way. It goes up from there, so you guys will have to find a way. You guys got to find a different manner of going up.
Connecting stop.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
So where we're
ways.
stopping is not necessarily the final destination with this tram.
Correct.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
you know,
It's just a junction.
yeah. Okay. So as these conversations are happening, stations have rolled past. People come and go, but always give the heavily armored second-hand crew members plenty of space. Several times your car has even been all but empty. The areas you pass very wildly in prosperity. Some look almost abandoned, others teem with life and movement. The one constant is the worn nature of everything due to the relentless storm. As you guys are coming through the 6th stop, pulling out of the station and moving back into the storm, 5E, you've been keeping your scanners out this whole time for any danger. And as you look out into the desert sands and the howling winds, you see what looks like a vehicle moving through the air. It seems to be moving past the tram, but then as it gets to your car, it seems to slow down and match speeds with
Pons,
you.
put your head down.
Yeah, stepping between Pons and the window.
Get down. We're being strafed by potential hostiles. 5E drops to a crouch, probably reaching to pull Marani down with him.
So is everyone crouching down? Is that the idea?
I will also crouch then. Yeah.
If there's like a place above the window I can float in without being in sight, I will do
Stay
that.
down and behind one of us.
Yeah, on it. And I'll go
He
back
could be
down.
like, yeah, boss. And just
Yes, but okay.
You guys crouch down and try to hide behind the many frames and metal parts of the train. And this vehicle moves closer. And from the corners that you're peering from, you can see that it's an unmarked heavy transport unit. And they come dangerously close to this tram. And you can see the pilot of this thing through some tinted window. And they look over as if scanning the train visually. Why don't you guys go ahead and give me some stealth checks?
Oh,
first roll of the day.
snap.
27 for NR5E.
Nice.
I don't have this skill trained.
Natural 20 for a 30.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Scrif got a 15.
And if there's any,
11.
I am deliberately putting myself between them and Pons. So any assistance
I'm hiding in the bathroom.
I could give.
Paul got 26.
Or if it becomes very obvious that Pons is being very obvious, I will do something else.
Kota with a 14.
So they come dangerously close up to the tram and look in, and then they move back away from the tracks. In a quick movement, the vehicle's mechanical roof transforms as a soldier in a turret rises into position, and uncloaking across the armored panel, a symbol spreads like a mocking laugh, the crest of an inverted trident.
oh,
And the guns open fire.
Ooh.
Is that Infernex?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
I'm so
They wasted
sorry.
no time.
Like, I took all of your guys' stealth rolls into account, and then I rolled a nat 20 perception.
Oh, no.
It happens.
So, everybody both roll for initiative and give me a reflex save as the machine gun tears into the car.
Great.
Cool. Okay, first, everyone's initiative, please.
Scrif got a 21.
Ooh. Myrani also got a 21.
Ooh.
Nice.
Nice high roll for Maroni.
Koto got an 18.
Oh, same teas.
Nice. Twinsies.
Soul got an 11.
Pons got an 8.
And continuing the paired off buddy system, 5e also got an 8.
Woo!
Oh, the odd one out.
Opa.
Opa.
All right, give me those reflex saves, please.
Oh, I got your reflex save.
That's
Adam.
a 23.
I got your reflex save right here.
Koto got a 25 reflex save.
That is really good.
Scrif got a 13 reflex.
5e got a natural 1 for a result of 9, and I don't think there's
Wow.
anything that can be done to change that unless this, inflicts a condition instead of just a bunch of damage.
No. This is just bullets
is a
flying
bunch of
through
damage.
the walls and hitting all of you.
Yeah. No evasion for me today, I'm sad to
Are there
say.
any civilians in this car?
My assumption was yes, but we've also been deliberately keeping our distance, so who knows?
I've been glaring at everyone who comes in.
In between glaring at us.
Yes.
You've been glaring at everyone else.
I'm
So really just
exceptionally grumpy.
non-stop glaring.
Lots of
Yeah.
glowering, yes.
So if you rolled above a 15, you will only take half of this.
Yay.
Oh boy.
You take, if you failed, 31 damage and
Yeah.
15 if you passed. And as these bullets are raining in, 5e, you are trying to pull Myrani down, and as this symbol reveals on the car, they just stand there as this hail of bullets flies all around them.
Nice of them to announce who they are, though.
True.
What are you doing? Get clear.
All right, so first round. He just completely stands there ignoring you. You can't, well, you can roll on your turn if you want to figure out more what's going on with him, but
I figured that's why I just took more than half my stamina and damage as 5e is taking bullets for the kid right now.
you're probably not wrong. Okay, and for funsies, because this is just my favorite thing to do, I have
Hazard dice.
disaster dice for what these guys do.
Boo.
Who wants to roll? Who hasn't rolled? Pan, have you done disaster dice for me yet?
I don't think so.
Please roll me a D100.
1d100 coming up. That's a 42.
42. This is one of my favorites, I'm gonna be honest.
Oh no.
Oh boy. Why am I
like
not
that.
excied?
You're welcome,
Pan
listeners. I'm sorry,
dies.
friends.
Pan, turn in your character sheet. You are finished.
So wait, I die?
Exit on death. Yes.
Say goodbye to your loved ones, Pan. There is a bolt from the blue coming in 5,
Oh
4,
man.
3, 2.
Like and subscribe.
I regret nothing. This was brought to you by Manscaped.
A rear panel opens, and you see that there's these pockmarks under the panel. And then you see a barrage of rockets erupt forth from this
No.
vehicle. So this is going to be a little interesting. So first off, because you guys are in a car that's still at the moment together, you guys are going to get a +4 on your saves, and there'll be fortitude
For the
saves.
moment.
But first, as these rockets head towards you, I'm going to give you guys a chance to use your reaction. I know you guys haven't had your turn yet, but here's the deal. If you use your reaction, you can try to shoot down some of these missiles. And the more damage you do, the less missiles will hit you and the less damage happens to you and the car. So you can decide if you want to use your reaction for this round or not.
Oh,
So
I will
use it
totally
ahead
What
of
do
else
time?
am I
that.
going to do with my
Yeah.
reaction? I'm melee.
Because it's fun, that's why.
Nice.
Yep, this is definitely a reaction, and I'm gonna
Does
take
that
it.
count spellcasting or no?
You could absolutely use like area of effect stuff or anything like that. Absolutely.
Sweet.
Oh.
We leveled up last fight, right?
No.
Right?
The
We didn't even
level-
rest
little-
last fight. Let alone
You're
level up.
lucky you got
Like
a
a little
short
treat.
rest.
Yeah.
Defeat a kaiju, not worthy of a level up.
So,
Listen, that thing didn't down a single one of you, so.
It's like a
and I
card game.
tried to make it kill me. I was like, eat me.
You really did. Eat
You
me.
like defeat the kaiju on the card, and it's just like nothing as the creature down below it.
Plus 2 XP.
Here is my
Eccentric,
question.
Well done.
It is not yet I have not moved, so I have not yet drawn a ranged weapon.
Oh, good point.
You know, that's details that do not make this story
Okay.
more fun.
Cool,
so.
cool. I'm just
Sweet. Yeah.
checking.
Good talk.
We kind of knew that danger was here.
Absolutely.
That makes
I
sense.
think we readied
Okay.
ourselves when we
there
took
was
cover.
this car.
Cool.
It made sense.
Yeah.
I'm just,
Can you imagine
just making
5e getting how to
sure,
get down and Soul doesn't pull out their gun? That'd be
Yeah.
I guess I should have said this better. Just everybody roll damage of whatever gun you're using or whatever spell you're
go.
using. So you
Okay.
don't have to roll the actual to hit because you guys are putting down a line of fire towards these rockets that are flying at you.
Lightning pistol, straight line attack. Here we go.
Can I do something other than shoot the rockets?
What do
Can
you
I
wanna
try
do?
to scramble them with my remote hack ability?
Scramble them all into a line, and then I'll just burst them with electric pulse.
I was going to use overheat and do the same thing, actually.
Yeah.
Get a bunch of them at once.
Ooh. Because this is just supposed to be a reaction, if you would like to overdrive this, then we might be able to talk.
Yes.
Oh,
And
yes.
those resolve points.
Yeah.
Go ahead, give me damage rolls, and then also, Jeff, go ahead, give me computers. And I have to tell you, these missiles will not turn into a chicken no matter how hard you hack.
Dang it.
I mean, we do have
5e drops 9 damage retaliating against the missiles.
10
What's the
fire
matter,
damage.
Adam? You chicken?
Oh.
I need to roll my
already
game to
was.
hit critical by accident.
4 energy.
Well, I, in rare fashion, have failed. I got a natural 1
Oh no!
for a 17.
The streak is broken!
Is the portent better? Just asking.
How many of
No, it's
those
better
do
than
you
natural.
have left?
Yeah. I was thinking about that as well, but I can't do it. Actually, no, I can. It's a reaction. I'll just skip my damage reaction and I'll portent you for 7.
Okay, what was your damage so I can remove that from the tally?
11.
And go ahead and add 8 into that, Adam,
Okay,
in a straight line.
and what is your grand total, Jeff?
23.
Excellent use of a 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I'll hold this for an enemy, but nope, it's better now.
Better than a nat 1.
Thank you.
And I used some like computer rolls for these guys to see if their onboard computer could counteract this, and that was a 22. So any lower, you wouldn't have
Nice.
gotten it.
Wow.
Way to go.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Dice are telling a story.
Good shout.
Bridget didn't.
Teamwork.
Amazing. All right, so I'm going to roll the damage and then subtract what you guys have done, and then you guys will save on whatever is left.
Okay, nice. That's kind of cool. I like that.
Adam rolls a
Yeah.
D100 for damage.
I go down instantly.
No, I'd roll 2 D100s.
Oh, God.
With advantage, of course.
So you're saying it might be a 2.
Okay.
Can you imagine getting a 2
Oh
and 2D?
man, you guys did really good on this. Okay, so my roll wasn't spectacular, but the fact that you guys both hacked it and then shot some of them down. So these missiles are flying at you, and you guys are firing through the windows. Glass is shattering as you do. Scrif gets on his data pad, and you see a few of them just spiral out, and they hit other parts in the sand. They hit the
Yes.
train further ahead of you, but they don't hit you directly. So after all of that, you guys are only left with 10 damage to contend with.
Nice. All right.
Hey.
Go ahead and give me the fortitude saves for a measly 10 damage.
Hey.
Hey, got a 25.
Koto with the 15.
25.
5.
I do not have save mojo today. That was a 6.
Yeah.
Oh, no. 5E, no.
Pons's was a 20 actually.
Okay, so you can probably guess what the spread is on this one. Para and 5e, you take the full 10, everyone else takes just 5.
Sweet, love it, love that.
All right, and that
You're
is
so positive.
that is the turn of this armored vehicle.
Adam's like, and then it drives off. Combat over.
Yeah, see you later.
It was just a gang initiation drive-by.
Watching it slide away in Foundry is just the best.
That was so good.
Yeah, did you move it farther away?
Yeah.
They zipped away so fast.
Like, I need it closer, please.
All right, Scrif, you're up.
All right. Well, I already kind of tipped my hand as to what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to try and just remote hack with my nanite little nano Scrif bot hands.
Those are definitely
They're really
words, yes.
adorable somehow.
My tiny hands.
No longer adorable. No longer. Nope.
And I want to mess with all the wiring in the car to just send
Okay,
them
you got it.
out of here. So,
Go ahead, computers.
okay, would it be computers or engineering?
I mean, you're hacking them, right? Are you trying to send your Scrif hands in to like pull out wires? Like, what are you trying to do here?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, sure.
Did I miss
I'll
the
take
script hands? I
engineering.
feel like I missed that.
I have
Right?
my remote hack allows me to make any computers or engineering check at range.
Oh, okay. You're not like shooting your hands like Gigantor style.
No, they're little. They're just
little
like
nanite
little
rodent hands.
simulated nanite hands that
Okay.
Scrif can remotely
So,
manipulate.
Here's what I'm gonna have you do, Jeff, is you're gonna roll with a -2 because of the wind and the speed as you send these little nanites into the open.
Okay, -2. Here it comes. 22.
I also got a 22.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
Well,
I'm afraid we're going to have to go to the Paizo forums. Dun, dun, dun.
The dark place.
No, for the love of God.
In a case of a tie, the higher skill modifier wins.
oh, that's definitely me.
That's worse.
Is what
Okay, there you go.
D20srd.org says. I don't know how much we trust D20srd.org.
Listen, that's as
That's
good an
fine.
answer as any. I do not care.
Do they have a plus 20 to their engineering?
Oh, goodness.
They do now.
Before you were
Scrap over
smug
there?
about it, Jeff, they only had a +1, but now.
No, do not like bad GM.
And that will succeed. Please tell me how you ruined my
Yes.
vehicle's life once again with your hacking.
So Scrif just like takes the little nano hands and they run up the exhaust and just get into the gunk of the ship and start tearing things apart.
Oh man, okay. I will
I like that they run,
modify
like-
things accordingly.
Like
Yes,
cousin
The
it.
little eggs.
Oh, what, like Cousin Ed?
Yeah.
No, thing.
A thing. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you're gonna do on your turn, Scrif?
Yes, I'm gonna instruct Cat activate energy shield, and I'm gonna give myself 11 temporary hit points.
Nice. So you turn on your energy shield, and we move on to the next person in combat, which is Myrani. And you see them staring at this vehicle. And since you're very close, 5e, they just have these wide eyes, and they're shaking visibly as they look at the symbol on the back of this vehicle.
Uh-oh.
Koto, you're up.
Oh, man. Okay, so Koto is going to move to the opposite window where she is, which is the window closest to the vehicle that's attacking us. She then holds up her hands that begin sparkling with rainbow energy. The rainbow energy then transfers from her hands up her arms to her wings, and they become those jagged, sharp circuit boards. And she casts junk shards
Hell yeah.
and flings it
Nice.
at the vehicle.
Nice.
Let's go.
So you roll for a reflex save, and I just roll damage.
Okay.
If you pass, you take half. That's a DC
I don't want to
15.
take away from your cool move, but whenever you say the rainbow magics thing, all I can think is SpongeBob is imagination.
What's not cool about that?
It's imagination
Super
land.
awesome.
Oh,
So
right,
the
what
DC
is
is
the save?
15.
Okay,
so
that
you-
was a nat 17.
Okay, cool. So you would take a total of 5 damage then.
You got it.
And that's my turn.
Let's go.
That was sick. Just come up to the windows and throw these spikes out the window.
Yep.
All right, Para, the stranger.
Para's going to. Can I get up against this window as well next to Koto? Or is it like one person per window?
Yeah, so
Cool.
No, it's my window. Go away.
Yeah, what's the status of the train? Like, if missiles came in, are there like holes that we can shoot
there's
through?
definitely giant gaping areas, and there's definitely giant blown off sections of the train, so you guys can just hide behind perforated.
Perforated.
No, perforated is right. Hide behind perforated sections of this tram.
Could you mark where the gaping is? That doesn't sound right. Can you mark where the you know what?
Yeah, hold on.
Can you mark where the holes?
No, I got you.
Yeah,
Hold
thanks.
on. I got you. All right. Here's the epicenter.
Can we
right
just
there.
undo that last?
You just broke Kay. They might like
You know what the problem was? He said gaping holes. I was like, great, that's big enough to shoot through. I'm thinking gaping large, and then I don't know. I choose as
Yeah,
holes.
I heard myself
You're not
say
making
it.
it
That's
better.
why I retook it.
Yeah, right.
Because Adam had no inflection change. Everything was fine until Anne said it again.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's so warm in here suddenly.
we put booze in our mouth so things like that won't come out
Just
of it.
like, I need you to mark out the gaping stuff I was going to say this evening.
Okay, I'm gonna. This needs to end. Pam, right there. Big ol' X mark. No more gaping for you. No more gaping for you.
I did
hold my hands
abs
up.
today, y'all. You can't make me laugh this hard.
And you can post all about it in our new channel, #Gabe.
Yeah, gate.
No.
Gape.
Gate!
Could you just mark out where the perforated sections are real quick?
No problem.
Oh, good gravy, y'all.
See
Wow,
everywhere.
That's a lot of space. Holy crap.
It was literal rockets coming at you.
Yeah.
Adam
fair
just
point.
marked 25% of the entire wall of the train car.
But only
just
one
one side
side,
of it.
so we absorbed all the rockets. None of them went through the other side of the train.
No.
Oh,
the
that makes me feel
side
better.
and the roof, they're all messed up. But the other side, just fine.
It's fine.
I'm gonna go up to the hole and just keep enough cover, and just gonna take a shot with the railgun.
All right.
All right.
That's what she said.
What? Take a shot with the railgun?
Go up to the hole.
No, I'm fully in the railgun fetish camp here.
We have moved on.
Yeah.
I haven't.
let's go.
I'm 12.
Let's go. 22.
Ooh,
Nice.
22. That'll hit. Give me some dammies.
Nice. That's 15.
Hey,
Oh, wow.
all right. Nice. You pull out the railgun, fire through the storm, and it impacts on the side of this armored car.
I wasn't even put anything out. Remember, everything just comes out of them.
Like Trigun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like slurps around the edge of
Wait,
the wall.
you're still a Ysoki too. So tiny Ysoki just transforms.
Oh,
Yes.
good point.
Into
It's like, you know
a
what? No,
railgun.
they don't. They're still in Ysoki form, but just like the railgun coming up out of them looks like they're just like doing some kind of
coming
weird
out of the
full body
chest.
movement. Yeah, and just like fires at these guys.
So cool.
Sexy.
Right. Anything else you're doing?
At that point, no, stay there.
Soul.
All right. First thing I want to, would it be sense motive perception, Myrani?
Sense motive.
And I'm specifically, is this the same way that he was staring at Scrif's siblings back on the ship? Is my.
Interesting.
That's a 17.
Okay. What you're getting is there's this overwhelming panic. Like, the feeling you're getting is almost akin to like a child who's done something wrong and their parent just walked in the door. Like, they're terrified of what's about to happen if you guys lose this.
All right, so graviton align, eyes go black. Going to look to 5e. I'm rather useless at range. And Soul is going to step next to Myrani, keep their hand coil drawn, but try to physically pull Myrani down and out of the way. And
Okay.
he's in between these two holes, so going to keep him in as much cover as I can, but try to do that. And if I still have an action, I don't know, do I need to grapple? What do I need to do to try to
Yeah, go
shake?
ahead, give me athletics.
Ew, why are you being mean to me? Oh, that's a 21.
Okay. You move over, and because he's not really resisting, he's just in this state of shock, you pull him down to the ground, and we'll just make that all part of your movement.
Okay, I'm going to pull him down, kind of kneeling beside him. Just be like, my Ronnie, are you here? Are you with us? I need you with us. Whatever that's going to
Go ahead,
require.
give me a diplomacy.
I am rolling really poorly tonight, but that's still a 19.
All right, you pull him down to the ground, and you shake him a little bit, and he seems to snap out of it and see you for the first time. His blackened eyes focus on yours, and he looks around and realizes the situation again, and you seem to have snapped him out of whatever was happening.
My Ronnie, hear me now. I will move the stars themselves before I will let him have you again. And that's my turn.
All right, Pons.
How many humanoids can Pons see on the floating vehicle?
You see 2 of them, one on the turret and one driving.
Okay, cool. I would like to use hold person on the one driving.
Interesting.
Nice.
Yes, you would.
Go ahead and make a save.
You got it. You guys are pulling out the fun moves. I like it.
And I'm babysitting because I can't do anything at range.
So I'm guessing that your will save, being a mystic's like 6, so my 8 beats it, right?
Yes, finally I get to use this spell.
Yes.
Oh man.
That's so great.
It's awesome.
All right.
Gosh, okay.
Okay, and then Pons will travel as far away from those openings as possible. How far can I go? I'm gonna go north, further to the front of the train, away from the openings.
Okay.
And yeah, that'll basically just prevent any action, and he has to use his full action next turn in order to snap back out of that. He can't.
He has to make
even
like another
drive.
save, huh?
Yeah, they get a save each round, right?
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, they're stuck.
Yeah, you
That's
can
nice.
see this guy just a little bit through the tinted windows, and you see them stiffen up and stop moving.
All right.
In R5E.
Scrif's thing is gonna make him crash.
5e looks back at Saul and says, if you can't hit a target reliably, lay down harrying fire. And let's see. 5e is going to attempt a trick attack on the turret operator.
Okay.
That is a 22 sense motive.
22 on the operator, huh?
Yeah,
So, no, sadly, that's not going to do it.
that sucks. Well, I'm taking a shot anyway. 16 KAC.
Yeah, I'm going to say that there's too much wind and a full turret in between the two of you. So you hit right near his head, and he ducks down for a second and then pops back up and gives you evil eyes.
All right. And resuming cover back where I was. Moving on.
Okay. Round 2, back to the top. I don't have to deal with all the weird things that you guys have done to me. All right, so at the beginning... Okay, why don't you roll a D100 for me?
This is either wonderful or terrible. That's a 96.
All right.
If
Reverse
last
nice.
time is anything to go by, it's terrible for us.
He's smiling. Adam's smiling so big.
Yeah. Okay, so
Oh no.
just to give you guys a little peek behind. So some of these are things that the driver does. Some of these are things that the gunner does. In this particular case, I'm sorry, Cooper, it was not the driver. So this
That's okay.
is still going to happen. But the vehicle remains completely where it's at. Maybe it's on autopilot. It's not veering off and crashing dramatically, sadly.
Yeah, I figured there might be an autopilot.
But the turret, instead of aiming at you guys, aims towards the connecting area of your car in front of you.
Uh-huh. So effectively trying to cut us off from the
Yeah.
engine.
Correct.
Great.
Dun, 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 dun. It tears apart one of these gravity connectors up in the front of this car, and you see it fall off the tram and fly into the desert storm.
No.
Oof.
Scrif, you're up.
How many connectors are there?
So between cars, there are 2 in front, 2 in back of each cars, and they connect to each other. So there's one more connector,
one more.
and then some flimsy bits of metal aside from that.
Oh boy.
Nice.
The pilot is going to try to make another save against your hold person there.
No.
That is literally the same roll as the first save.
Oh, these rarely work. It's so nice when they do.
Nice.
Okay, Scrif Dovetail.
All right. Well, Scrif's gonna keep getting into the systems on this car.
I hate when he does
I
this.
think I'm going to continue using my remote hack. I want to access the computer system of the car and steal their data in case they have any useful info.
Credit fraud, love it.
Okay, go ahead. Give me a computer's
All
roll.
right.
love
That's a
it.
35.
Oh, I hate it.
Natural 19.
Ooh. I'm not even gonna roll. There's no way I can beat it. Cat goes, interesting. I'll just take that, and that, and that.
And that. Social security numbers, check.
So you can look into what you get after this has finished.
I'll just tell Kat, start scanning that immediately for anything that might be useful.
Understood.
So Kat's turns will be used up by scanning that.
Okay.
And I think that's going to be my turn.
Okay. Myrani, laying on the ground, Soul, you've put them in cover, and they kind of blink out the dust in their eyes and try to get back to themselves. And they sit up, and you're kind of looming over them, crouched down. So as they sit up, they pull out a gun and rest their arm on your shoulder as they shoot out at the vehicle.
Pew pew.
Nice. That's cool.
I was really worried how that sentence was going to end.
They pull out a gun, they're like, hasta la vista, baby.
Look, Soul has trust issues, and this has been a concern. They have not voiced
and
it.
like, there was little to no indication as to what they were doing, so they just pulled it up next to you and then stuck it past you.
Like eyebrows
And
go
that
up.
is a 19 against EAC, so
Nice.
All right.
this boy is taking some shots. All right,
Maybe
and they
roll
do
more than a 1.
Yes, they finally do. They roll 4 damage as
Yes.
they shoot
Yay!
out of the car. Huzzah.
One of us. One of us.
This is character growth.
So proud.
All right, Koto.
Koto will begin moving her arms and creating more sparking, crackling rainbow energy between her hands. She'll look over to Scrif and say, "Hey, did you get everything you need off that computer?"
Time will tell. I downloaded all I could.
All right, sounds good to me. She then immediately shoots the energy that she was building in her hands into the computer system of that car, casting verdant code and filling everything in a 20-foot radius with more slashing vines, dealing 5d6 slashing damage to everything in that radius.
So fucking awesome.
Wow,
Can we disable autopilot?
we're gonna find out.
Yes.
Yes.
Tell me how much damage.
Oh,
Now,
this
they
combination
can-
is beautiful.
The creatures in that area can do a reflex save for half, but that car, on the other hand, is taking all of
A
it.
reflex?
Yeah. Hey, that seat that you're sitting in. Do a
Right.
reflex save.
Pretty much, but it is a reflex save. Yeah.
Okay, and what's the save on that one?
DC 15. And let me roll the damage real quick.
The guy in the turret got a 14, and the guy in front doesn't get to save.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So then
Paralyzed.
they both take 18 slashing damage.
Oh,
Whoa.
okay.
We're going to have to combo these spells more often. I kind of like point over at Kodo,
But
point over at
also-
me, give him like a thumbs
but-
up.
Yeah.
I need to draw.
Give it like a thumbs up.
Another radius circle because everything within a 20-foot radius is also covered in vines, meaning that the car is now covered in vines.
Cool.
Windows shatter.
Pull this other dimension open inside the cockpit of this thing, right next to that driver, as these vines shatter out the windows and wrap around the entire car.
Yep. It's a great spell, but it can only target computer systems. It can't target anything else.
It's perfect. So many computers in this.
Too bad you don't have someone who can literally make computerized devices in under 3 seconds.
Exactly.
At a distance.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Para, you're up.
That was a really cool move that I completely skipped what I was going to do. So I'm just like, man, that's great. You know what? I'm just gonna fire on them again. Actually, it's top speed buggered. Yeah, why not? I'm gonna cast Overheat.
Let's go.
So seeing all these plants like growing in this car, Paul's going to just reach out, and it gets very cold in the car for a moment. And they cast Overheat. They collect the heat generated by nearby bodies and devices and bend it outwards in a wave, taking 2d8 fire damage to each object in the area. So I'm just gonna put all the heat in from the car and blast it out onto these dudes.
Does it ignite stuff?
I don't know. I guess so. It's fire. It's Overheat.
It's a 15-foot cone, though, right?
Ooh.
Jump out the window.
You would ignite the
so.
vines, maybe?
Oh, good point. You know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna lean out the window.
Can't tell if you're sarcastic
Koto,
or not.
you just hear Para
long
say,
arms.
"Excuse me,"
You could just-
as just wrap some tendrils around you and the wall and lean out
God.
the window.
Oh, this is so weird. Oh, this is so weird.
All right, Pan, go ahead and move Para to wherever they're moving, hanging on by these tendrily arms.
Absolutely, just in wrapping Koto and the door so they can lean out the window, and they cast Overheat on the vines and the car.
It was great.
That's so cool.
This is awesome.
Oh crap! Sorry, I got to roll for damage.
Adam is shaking his head like he is not rolling well.
It's 10 fire damage.
Okay, one of them can't roll, the other has a natural 1. So
Awesome, nice, good times.
Oh, I love this.
this
should
is
paralyze
the
people more
worst
often.
day ever for these guys.
You really should. It makes our lives so much easier.
Amazing.
Yeah, the issue is
nice
the
combo,
concentration
guys.
on it. I can't take
That
a
was
whole
really
lot of
cool.
damage,
That was a
right?
good combo.
Yeah, that was fun.
Okay, so you lean out the busted side of this tram, stretch your arm out, and cast fire onto the car. You see the vine set on fire. You see it go into the broken windows, and this thing is just engulfed in flames. And because that was so cool, when it comes back around to their turn, provided that you guys haven't done like 1,000,000 damage or some ridiculous stuff, they'll start taking fire damage from the vines that are burning.
Excellent.
Can you imagine trying to get these vines out of your way and suddenly they're all on fire? What a terrible day for you.
Yeah. And also you're paralyzed.
They started it.
Brian
They
can't help you
started
at all.
it.
You're just having a
That
bad
is
day.
like- terrifying,
You're like
actually.
that guy in a bear suit from Midsummer, man. It's like-
Okay,
they know they're
Soul,
messing
you're
with
up.
All right. First and foremost, further aligning to Graviton, and Soul is going to give a very warm, approving look at my Roddy, and then look at 5e and be like, I could fit things. And they will move forward and shoot at the turret guy.
Okay,
I've checked; it's within my
Turret,
range.
yay.
the turret guy.
Hey, it's me, third guy. What's
going on?
So that is a nat 1. Except
Oh,
you watch something very angry flicker across Soul's face, and maybe it's being around Para, maybe it's just the intention of absolutely refusing to be embarrassed. But thanks to their new graft, they get to re-roll natural ones on a d20 once a day.
oh, let's
Nice.
go.
So
Is rad.
time just flickers, and it becomes a 16 against EAC.
All right.
Excellent.
Against EAC, that'll hit. That's so cool. You guys are so cool now.
That's 6
now,
energy
never before.
damage. Never before.
6 energy to that guy. Okay. I'd love to tell you how good or bad these guys are doing in this car, but it's literally on fire. So, Pons, you're up.
I just love, like, they're like, yeah, this is going to go so well. 10 seconds later.
Yeah, so this guy's already paralyzed, getting surrounded by vines that are on fire. I will also creep further into his brain and give him a good old mind thrust.
Hey,
so make another save, please.
No.
Just the worst day.
And that is a natural 19 on the die. So,
Ooh, okay. So that does save, but I rolled really well on damage anyway. So he's going to take 15 psychic damage. Even saving.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
okay.
Brutal.
Yeah, you feel him mentally reel from this.
It's his first day on the job.
R5E, you're up.
Seriously, must be. First day on the job. Burning.
No.
vine-infested car.
This guy is 1 day from retirement.
On the car, like the license plate says live forever.
So seeing that Sol is in between Mirani and one of the windows, 5e is going to, as part of his trick attack movement, move back to this window in case they decide to try any fancy maneuvers. Not that driver's going anywhere right now. I guess technically I would need to go back one more, though, to really have line of sight to the turret guy. That ought to work for trick attack. That's a 37, brah.
Nice.
Bruh.
That's 24 against KAC.
Okay.
That is 31 piercing damage to the turret operator.
And what kind of gun are you using?
It's a semi-automatic pistol, so 5e is just going to dash backwards and snap off a few rounds through the window. Targeting matrix on his HUD is just zeroing in on the guy further and further with each shot.
It zeroes in. And then you fire a few shots. And then hard cut to that scene from Saving Private Ryan with the sniper. It goes straight through the scope and hits him in the eye. And you see his head fly back and then fall forward onto the turret. And you know he's not getting back up.
Nice.
Dang.
Nice.
Hardcore.
Yeah, it's hitting hard now.
Get him.
Feels good, guys. Feels real good.
Okay. So that is the end of round 2. All of that has happened in 2 rounds.
Don't with us.
Again, Brian's having a bad day.
Is it will save o'clock?
So at the top of this round, because this Infernex vehicle is first in the initiative order, you guys can see through the flames that are burning on the dashboard. This guy still unmoving. You see the control panels are blown out. And because of all the damage you guys have done to this craft, you see it begin to list in one direction. I'm in fact going to roll what direction that is, and we're going to find out what happened.
Oh, no. Oh no.
Oh, yes.
Okay, got it. So, unable to move, this driver stares in sheer horror as this vehicle begins to move slowly back and to the left, the energy of it failing.
It's
As
headed
it-
for the train.
Oh
Smashes into the car right behind you. And
Yikes.
everybody give me reflex saves.
And I get to roll mine with pluses.
21 for 5e.
Koto with the 22.
Soul has a 20.
And Pons with a 19.
no. Power got a 24.
Scrif got a 19.
You guys just killed it. Okay.
Yeah.
Please allow me to describe
Which is handy
it.
because
It's
they were
hard
hanging
to
out the
miss.
side of the door of his car.
It's hard to miss like a flaming vine-infested vehicle coming right at you.
This armored vehicle swings back and smashes into the car behind you, right where those gravity connectors are. And the entire cabin that you guys are in jumps. All of you guys manage to grab onto railings and maintain your footing as the tram comes back into position on these grav rails. Scrif, because you're standing right next to the door, the window on it shatters in towards you and the glass bounces off your armor, and you see this explosion erupt behind you as this cascading surge of fire and electricity encompasses the entire car behind you.
Oh my god.
Yikes.
If there were any people in there, they aren't anymore.
Dude, Para was hanging out the window the entire time. That was awesome.
I like to think that like all this glass and shards started coming and Soul's like gravity just like pulls it just barely past them.
Yeah, shards of metal.
You watch it like warp around their
fly
body.
right over you. They're bouncing all around in the cabin. Para still hanging outside. This giant chunk of the turret just goes flying straight past you as your guy's car, torn halfway open, missing most of the back, missing the entire rest of the tram, pull away from this exploded vehicle.
Oh my god.
Whew.
Michael Bay explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah, and none of you look back.
Nope.
You just walk away in slow motion.
Walk down the train in slow motion.
We walk to the next car.
Yeah. We all pop into the next car as a group somehow at the same time with a panic look on our face. We're like, whoa, what happened? Everyone all right?
And you are
gods.
out of combat.
Yes.
That is a lot of civilian casualties.
Really?
Holy crap.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Yay,
Yeah.
Pons.
It's okay. Their life expectancy was pretty
Yeah,
low
they were
anyway.
dying slowly anyway.
Wow.
I mean, that's my thing, but wow.
Wow. Change your alignments.
Well, I'm pretty sure Pons is pretty neutral.
Chaotic
but
neutral. What?
Yeah.
That is exactly a chaotic neutral statement.
Retain your alignments.
Power pulls himself back in. Overcoat and goes, apologies, but thank you for the aid.
No, we make a pretty good team. Happy to help.
Yes. They give us a small bow and look around. Everything appears to be either destroyed or on fire. Perhaps we should move.
Wind's just howling
idea.
through the torn open cabin.
Good idea.
Let's go down the train away from where the car exploded.
Yeah, we want to go up the train. Up the train.
Wait, is this up the train?
Let's go down the train.
Pons is?
Okay, so to the north on the map is up the
Yeah.
train.
On the map,
Gotcha.
we'd be going north.
5e steps back toward Myrani and says, come on, we have to keep moving.
Myrani is staring at where the car exploded, and then they just kind of shake their head a little bit and start following you guys.
So we'll slide up right by Myrani as we're going and say, by the way, before, did you hit it?
Yeah, looks down at the gun. I think I'm getting slightly better. Sorry about whatever happened.
It is merely a matter of time and applied ability. Practice.
You are using a weapon that's new to you with a crew you've never worked with before, and you hit it more than most could be expected. Well done.
Agreed. The most important factor in our projected success quotient is whether all of us walk away from it alive. This mission was a success.
Looks down at his suit, which has like bullet holes in it from the rain of fire at the beginning. Yeah, I suppose technically that's true.
I believe Para can fix that. Para. Bullet holes, can you?
Of course. Yeah, Para's gonna come over to Myrani, and Myrani's tall, right?
Yeah, Myrani's like halfway to 7 feet.
He's 3.5
Sometimes
feet
I
tall.
imagine that, like.
Thank
You
you,
know what?
Mark.
Yeah, good point. Actually, hang
I
on
was
a minute.
confused. I wanted to be that guy, but I didn't want to be that guy, so I'm glad you were that guy.
No, I'm glad you said so. I didn't sound really stupid. Going, okay, yeah, sounds about right.
Hey, are you gonna fix my suit?
Hey, buddy, gotta fix my suit.
Wow.
Not your guy, pal.
But yeah. So Para usually stoops a bit. They stand to a full height when they get up to Myrani and survey the damage, and they lean in close and say, "Do not be afraid." As they subsume Myrani's clothing.
Whoa.
And as their hands, as the slime of their body works way down, Myrani's clothes are fixed with the power of mending.
So as you're doing this, he leans in close to you and says, "After what I saw in that building, I don't know about that." And then he leans back.
Power finishes up, and they rest a hand on Myrani in a way that they've seen the others do, in a kind of mimicry. And they give a squeeze that's supposed to be reassuring, but it's a little too hard. And then leaves wordlessly.
My Ronnie
this is not helping.
doesn't even wince.
Excellent.
Did you like dissolve the top layer of his skin on accident as you did that?
No,
'Cause that would be.
Power has taken a lot of time and energy to learn to control themselves.
We have very
Yeah,
much
just
established that is no longer a thing.
That's good. That's good.
I mean, it's a thing if they don't concentrate enough.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, before they leave, I think Marnie doesn't react at all. And they say, when this is done and we are safe, I would speak with you, my Ronnie.
All right. He looks at you and then walks forward on the tram.
We made it to the next stop yet?
Yeah, this has been a strange welcoming back to
Did we
Akaton.
take another 10-minute rest?
Why can't these trains run on time?
Another hijacking? God.
Also,
In
all
real
that
life, we've been on this
was
for what, 2.5 hours?
barely 3 rounds.
Not even.
It started 3 rounds, yeah. So, shortly after, the tram pulls into the indoor station, and a voice calls out over the intercom. Everyone stand back! The tram has suffered damage and is dangerous. Please, calmly evacuate the platform. Follow holographic guidelines to safe zone. Brought to you by... Screw it, just go.
It's not Gizmos.
It's next one.
So this tram scrapes along the side of the platform as you guys pull to a stop. And everyone on the platform itself is evacuating, seeing all that's happened to this tram.
I guess we're getting off.
I would like to see if there's a way to go that is not the holographic guidelines, just in case people want to question people. Would like to know if there's an alternate route.
Okay, go ahead and give me survival.
I'm also going to use my sidereal influence on this. That's a 22.
22. As you guys step off the train, Sol, you notice that there is a back door for like staff and that kind of thing. So you could slip through there if you prefer not to go by the safety guidelines.
I will let the group know. We did them a favor, but we also sort of caused this. There's a back door if we'd like to potentially avoid a suspicion, potentially cause more suspicion. We can go that way. Your call.
I could possibly just get us through. Is there like a separate line, potentially?
No, you do nothing.
Line for the rich people?
Yes.
No.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow, it all comes out when he gets home, huh?
I gotta ask.
This is a new side to Pons we hadn't seen before.
I'm just curious, like, what can I get away with here?
Pons just flashes his platinum American Express card.
Yes, exactly.
Do you know who I
Pons?
am?
I have some business here.
Pons, I suggest you get very acquainted with the servant entrances from this point on.
Hey, I asked that to the DM. That was not... No one heard that.
Just goes up to the staff. Don't you know who my father is?
Honestly, they will probably know. That's the problem.
This area is not really designed with the expectation that rich people will roll through here. So this is just the public tram system.
And this is the stop
Pons
that
is
we
all for
wanted to get
back
off
door.
at, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's try the back exit. Is it locked? And kind of comes up to it, and Pons will pull on the handle.
It is locked, but it's just a mechanical lock as far as you can see.
I'm on it.
Yeah, back away and let Scrif do his job.
Keeping an eye out. Scanning.
Absolutely.
That is a 29.
Ooh.
29, this lock didn't know what was coming. You walk up to it and just turn it, and it breaks the lock inside.
It's open before I even reach it. It's just with the remote hacking.
And you guys move in through this staff maintenance entrance. You know, there's a few corners that you have to take, but it seems like there's a big enough distraction on the platform that no one is running through this area to try to get through. So the second-hand crew departs the building, and you walk out into the downtown of Nwai. Buildings reach into the storm, blazing with neon lights and holographic advertisements. Vehicles fly in and out of these behemoths through the storm. While on the ground, people of every shape and size move in a constant wave through the sandy streets. No one seems to take notice as you merge into the flood of life. On all sides, there's an overwhelming amount of activity. Stores, banks, bars, shops, restaurants. The foundations of a city running business as usual, ignoring its own wounds. Noai welcomes you with open arms to its sandy embrace. Suddenly, there's a cut of static coming from a comm unit. Pons, you hear this strange flurry of screeching sounds that overlap into a discordant audio pattern. It lasts for maybe 10 seconds before it discontinues, and a voice takes its place. I thought it would be about time for your comm frequency to reappear on Akaton, Pons. Sadly, this is a one-way burst transmitter, so I can't hear your sonorous voice at this time.
Sounds familiar. Who is this?
The storm rages ever on. You may not recall who this is, but soon you will. This is by design. Nevertheless, since you are on the planet of Akaton, I suggest you make your way here with some haste. You have business to attend to. Narian's mind is slipping, and a moment of great decision will soon be upon us. Come to his laboratory before this decision is made for you, and we'll see you in the next chapter.
It's G-Man! That's a terrible, terrible way to sign off from a phone call.
When life drains you down, charge up on the Emergency Power Network. Theme song Triangles by Diamond Ace. Find them at bandcamp.com. Music provided by Nicholas Judy of Dark Fantasy Studio at darkfantasystudio.com and Tabletop Audio. Find them at tabletopaudio.com. As well as Carl Casey of White Bat Audio. Find them at whitebataudio.com. Font Azonics by Mixo. Find them on Twitter at MixoFX. The Starfinder role-playing game, including its official lore and images, are the intellectual property of Paizo Incorporated. All rights reserved. Narrated by Danny Lee Collins.